At last, an approach to teaching and learning that connects the traditional classroom to the real world at Central Methodist University. Now you can learn the way you live and the way you'll work with the new Digital U, available only on the campus of CMU. Be more. At last, an approach to teaching and learning that connects the traditional classroom to the real world at Central Methodist University. Now you can learn the way you live and the way you'll work with the new Digital U, available only on the campus of CMU. Be more.
How do you make traditional education more effective for today's job market? You transform it. Now the only limit to your education is your imagination. The new Digital U at Central Methodist University. Be more. How do you make traditional education more effective for today's job market? You transform it at Central Methodist University. Now the only limit to your education is your imagination. The new Digital U, available only on the campus of CMU. Be more.
Welcome to Puckett Fieldhouse, campus of Central Methodist University. Benedictine College Ravens. Men's game versus Central Methodist Eagles men. The women's game that just ended turned out to be a CMU victory. 82-67 was the final score there. Central coming in 3-2 overall, 2-0 in conference play on a 3-game winning streak. Benedictine 5-2 overall, 2-1 in conference play. So both teams have gone to their locker room. So we're just about set to go. Men's action. We're 5 minutes away from opening tap. National anthem, perhaps. We had one before the women's game here earlier as the Lady Eagles came back from a first quarter deficit to take the lead in the second period and hang on to it throughout the ball game for a big win. Moved them to 3-1 overall and 2-1 in conference play. Benedictine out here as the scoreboard has starters listed on the board that are not the starters for this ball game. Guessing maybe it was the starters for the last ball game, but not sure about that even. I'm not sure where these numbers, because some of the numbers, there are no players listed for those numbers, especially I know the Central players from seeing them a couple of times already. And those numbers on the Central side don't make a lot of sense, and now they've changed them a little bit. Let's see if that makes any more sense now. And now they're starting to make a whole lot more sense, as what they had up on the board had Rain Hartman as a starter, and I would be happy to see him back at 6'11", but he's stuck over in South Africa and can't make it back yet. And probably won't be back until the second semester if he makes it back at all from over there. So we've got that. Now I'm going to see if I can figure out we'll see. The numbers up on the board. There's numbers for Benedictine for their players, so we'll see if we can get that figured out. But we'll give you the Central starters because it's the same group as last time I was here, I believe. Number 1, Kyle McDermott, a 6'3" senior guard out of Frankfort, Illinois. Number 11, Jaden McGrew, a 6'3 sophomore from Garland, Texas at a guard. Amir Pettiford, a 6'3 junior guard out of Newark, New Jersey. Fodi Kamara, a 6'6 senior out of Queens, New York. And number 24, Chandler Bevins, a 6'7 junior out of Cahokia, Missouri, are your starters for Central. I go over to the other side, and this is what's up on the scoreboard, so we'll go with it until we get further notice. Number 1, Chris Jackson, 6'2 senior from Dayton, Ohio. Number 10, Jaden Bristol, a 6-foot senior from St. Joseph, Missouri. Number 20, Matt Austin, a 6-foot senior from St. Joseph, Missouri. A 6'2 junior, Saxton Thurston from St. Joe. And Tyson Cathy, a 6'6 junior out of Liberty. So Benedictine has 4 starters on their team from the state of Missouri. So we'll see if those are indeed the starters as we go along. As we'll get rid of, I have all my stats and stuff from the women's game. We'll get rid of that set of stats, and we'll pull out the men's stats and information for this ball game. For Benedictine, Eric Cruz is their leading scorer at 14.8, and he's not listed amongst the starters. Don't know if he may be missing in action. Matt Austin averages 14.8. Jaden Bristol, 14.6. Chris Jackson, 13.4. Tyson Cathy averages 6.6. Saxton Thurston, if he is indeed starting, averages 2.1. A little over 30 seconds to go. Seeing if I can pull out the Central stats real quick. Kyle McDermott averages 14.8. Jaden McGrew, 5.8. Fodi Kamara, 11.2. Chandler Bevins, 14.7. So we're about set for the starting lineup, so we'll find out soon enough. As they're giving the Heart of America sportsmanship read before it gets started. It's Charlie Brown bringing you the action from Puckett Fieldhouse.
We ask that each of you do your part during this contest by remaining socially distant and wear your mask at all times throughout the duration of the competition.
Central 2-0 in the conference, Benedictine 2-1 in conference play.
And please do not congregate or wait to interact with student athletes. Thank you. And now, let's meet the starters for today's contest. First, for the visiting team on the scoreboard, the Benedictine Ravens.
So Benedictine. Number 1, Chris Jackson, 6'2 senior from Dayton, Ohio. Jaden Bristol, 6-foot guard, senior from St. Joe. Matt Austin, a 6-foot senior guard from St. Joe. Saxton Thurston, a 6'2 guard from St. Joe. And Tyson Cathy, a 6'6 junior from Liberty. For the Eagles, number 1, Kyle McDermott, a 6'3 senior from Frankfort, Illinois.
A
6'3 sophomore at guard from Garland, Texas. Jaden McGrew, and he's got family here. 6'3 junior. Amir Pettiford from Newark, New Jersey. 6'6 senior from Queens. Fodi Kamara. And a forward, a 6'7 junior from Cahokia, Chandler Bevins. Coach Sherman in his 36th season, all at Central Methodist. Assistant head coach Matt Sherman, graduate assistant Brent Shuck. For Benedictine, Ryan Moody, their head coach. Assistant coaches John Peer and Justin Rake. We are just about set to go. As will be Tyson Cathy against Chandler Bevins to get this thing started. And there's the tip. Kamara tips it back. And the Eagles have the basketball as Pettiford had it. Now Pettiford has it there. Into the corner to Bevins. Looks inside. There's Kamara on the baseline. Backs in, back out. Bevins. McDermott. Bevins. McDermott, 9 on the shot clock. Bevins with a pick for McGrew. Roll to the basket, puts it up, and gets it to go. On the wing. Get used to the names as we go along. Kicked all the way out. And that is Jackson with a 3 on the way. Can't get it to go. Rebounded. And put back up again. Runner on the way. Side of the board no good. Rebound no good. Tipped around. And coming out with it is Pettiford. To McGrew. McDermott. All the way across Bevins. Pettiford to the basket. Kicks it back out. McGrew to the hoop. Steps through. Puts it up and in. This is Jackson with the ball. Bristol, back to Jackson, back to Bristol. 4-0 Central, just underway. Half number 1, Bristol. 3 on the way, no good, and Pettiford with a rebound. Tipped around. Knocked down and out of bounds as McDermott went after it, but it's ruled to go out off of the hand of Chris Jackson. Central basketball, 22 on the shot clock. Minute and 53 into the ball game as they wait for Jackson to get done. And McGrew has the basketball. McDermott back to McGrew, top of the key, swings around to Pettiford. Bevins inside, posts up, puts it up and in. Chandler Bevins, 4 points in the game for him. Down the lane, kicks it off. Underneath and into the basket by Tyson Cathy. Nice pass from Jaden Bristol to Tyson Cathy. Benedictine on the board. Pettiford. Step back, jumper on the way, no good. Bristol with a rebound, runs it up the floor. That was Austin that had it, Pettiford. Bristol has his shot block, Cody Camara going to be called with a foul. Into the free throw line will go Jaden Bristol. Jaden Bristol at the line. .73% free throw shooter on the season. Nails the first one, and it's 6-3. Second one, also good, 6-4 now. McGrew has his pass stolen by Bristol. Hustles back, does McGrew, and then throws a curveball outside, jump hook pass, and McDermott steals it. Pettiford. Jackson knocks it away from him. Back out to McGrew, reset. Going to get a pick, Bevins on top. Kamara on the other side. And wait for Bevins to get inside. He gets it, goes up strong, puts it up and in. Chandler Bevins with 6. 8-4 Eagles. Jackson, jump pass inside, tipped around and knocked away. Pettiford comes up with it. Bevins has it, gets it back out to Kamara. Crossover, couple extra steps, and he's called for a travel. Benedictine with the ball, trailing by 4. Bristol across half court. And a foul called away, and that's going to go on Pettiford. His first, team foul number 2. They looked inside for Thurston, but he didn't get it, and they go long outside to Cathy. Jackson. There's Thurston with a 3 on the way and hits it. Saxton Thurston with his first points of the ball game, make it 8-7. Kamara throws it to the official, who was not willing to receive the pass. It hit him out of bounds, and it's a turnover against Central. Bristol, Benedictine looking for their first lead of the ball game. Bristol around a pick. Cathy, nice pass underneath, and a layup and in. By Thurston, he's got 5, and it's 9-8 in favor of Benedictine. McDermott hasn't got a shot off yet in the ball game. Kamara on the line. Stays behind the line, and it's a 3-pointer, and Fodi Kamara with his first points of the ball game. 11-9 Eagles. Jackson. Pick from Lacey. Got Bevins on him now. He likes that matchup. He wants everybody to get out of the way because he thinks he can take Bevins. Pulls up for a 3 instead. Can't get it to go. And Kamara with a rebound. McGrew on the run. Takes it down the lane. Puts it up and lays it in off the glass. Jaden McGrew with his 4th point of the ball game. And it's 13-9 Central. Ball fake, jumper on the way, won't go. Bevins blocks out. Cathy gets the rebound. Kamara brings it up the court. He sees a path to the basket, but he's going to be fouled out away from the basket. And it'll be Central basketball underneath the basket. Tyson Cathy with the foul, his first personal. Nazir Scott checks into the game. Chris Jackson out. Scott 5'10" junior out of Topeka. McDermott, there's a 3 on the way from him. Comes up short, tipped around. It ends up in Thurston's hands. He gets it to Bristol. Quickly up the floor to Thurston. Back around it comes. Cathy at the top of the key. Bristol thinks about it. Steps over. Tries to get it back inside and has his pocket picked by Pettiford. McGrew. Nice pass to Kamara, who misses the layup, but Bevins gets it back. Spin move. Jump hook on the way. Banks it in. 8 points for Chandler Bevins in the ball game. 6-point advantage for the Eagles. Jaden Bristol in the corner, gets a pick from Cathy, kicks it back out. Austin with a long 3 that doesn't draw anything and goes out of bounds. Trent Lyles checks in. Fodi Kamara checks out. Lyles up the court with the basketball. Nice pick and roll. Bevins lays it up and in off the glass. Joe Ladisi into the ball game for Benedictine. Bristol. Austin. Thurston. Austin again. To the hoop, kicks it out to the corner, back to the top. Thurston with another 3 and hits another 3. He's got 8 in the ball game. Lyles. Bevin's going to tee up a 3 ball and hit it. Chandler Bevins with 13 of the team's 20. Coach Moody's has seen enough of that. Oh, and he wants to rail at the official a little bit. It's a 30-second timeout. We'll keep it here. 20-12 is the score. Eagles on top early. Chandler Bevins with 13 points right now. Women won their ball game by the final score of 82-67. We'll be back here Monday night when the men will play at 7:30. 7:30 game against Hannibal LaGrange. I'm looking to see when our next ball game is December the 10th when Baker comes to town for a doubleheader. That's the next doubleheader on the way. Hannibal on Monday night. Scott with the basketball up the floor. 12:38 to go. Bristol gets a pick, roll. Laying it up, can't get it to go the first time, can't get it to go the second time. And a foul will be called on the floor as Thurston battle for that.
Eagle foul number 10. Trent Lyles, that foul his first. 13 foul.
Thurston with it. Got a couple of threes already in the game. Bristol down the lane. Little jumper, can't get it to go. Tipped around, and it gets tipped in, and we'll see who they give credit to that far. They give that to Bristol on the tip. He's got 4. There's Pettigrew trying to get around the corner, but he can't do it. Knocked out of bounds. McDermott to bring it in. McDermott, Lyles, McGrew, Pettiford, and Bevins on the floor. Gets started, and it comes to McGrew. Back to Bevins. He takes it to the hoop. Lowers his shoulder, can't get it to go. Gets a miss. Thurston with a rebound. Bristol brings it up 20-14. This is Austin. Thurston, left-hander, takes it down the lane against McDermott, also left-handed. Thurston lays it up and in. He's got 10 in the ball game. 10 of his team's 16. Lyles, Bevins wanted to take a 3, kicks it back out to McDermott instead. Back to Bevins. He's going to work against the DC inside. Puts it up, score, basket good, foul called. Joel Adisi, a 6'6 sophomore from Asaba, Delta State, Nigeria. Jackson back in. Austin out. McGrew out. Austin Fisher in. Fisher and Lyles now in the ball game. Bevins makes the free throw, and that gives him 16 in the ball game. 23-16. Scott, Bristol, rises for a jumper, off the rim, no good. Lyles with the rebound, wants to push, and there's a foul on Bristol, and I think that's his, I was going to say second personal foul, but it's his first personal. Team foul number 3. Kamara checks back in. Pettiford checks out. Lyles, sophomore transfer from State Fair Community College. Bevins got a 3, lined another one, lined up and hits it. Chandler Bevins just lighting it up here. He's got 19 in the game, and we are not halfway through the first half, and Coach Moody does not like it again and takes another timeout. So with that timeout, we'll take a quick one to go along with it. We'll be back in 30 seconds here on the Eagle Sports Network.
How do you make traditional education more effective for today's job market? You transform it at Central Methodist University. Now the only limit to your education is your imagination. The new Digital U, available only on the campus of CMU. Be more.
26-16. 10:55 to go in the first half. Chandler Bevins with 19 points so far for the Eagles in just over 9 minutes of play. Bristol looks for the backdoor cut. Adisi, Jackson, Lane backs it back out. Scott, Jackson down the lane, puts up a runner and good. Chris Jackson, his first 2 points of the ball game. Back to an 8-point Eagles lead. Lyles, Kamara, McDermott with the basketball. Lyles right there. Fisher and Bevins in the ball game. Kicked around. McDermott 3-ball from the corner. Long. Lyles runs it down. Gets it to Fody Kamara, who lays it up and in. Kamara with 5 in the ball game. Back to a 10-point spread as we approach halfway through this first half. Scott try to bounce pass to a cutting player, but it was kicked, so it will stay with Benedictine. Into Thurston. He's got 10 in the ball game. Jackson looks again. Bristol with it. 15 on the shot clock. Bristol down the lane. Into the corner it goes. That's Scott. Back out to Bristol. He goes baseline. Looks for some contact. Doesn't get any contact. Tip doesn't go, and Kamara down with a rebound. Ahead to Lyles. 1-on-3. Kamara. Ball fake down the lane. Bevins. A 3. This one's going to come up short. It does. Quickly ahead to Scott. Jackson. Thurston's got a post up against McDermott. Same size, lefty against lefty. Kicks it over to the corner. 3 on the way from the corner. Rims out no good. Rebound up no good. That was by Jackson, and Kamara comes down with another rebound and leaves it for Lyles. 9:05 here in the first half. Fisher wants to beat Jackson. Gets it to the baseline. McDermott. He's standing on the end line, and it's a turnover. Media timeout called as Tyson Cathy's coming back into the ball game. 28-18 is our score. Eagles off to a quick start. Should say Chandler Bevins off to a quick start. He's got 19 points in the game for the Eagles. We'll keep an eye on that. 19 points in the first 9 minutes. Eagles shooting a sizzling 70.6% from the floor right now, including 3 of 5 from the free three-point line. Benedictine shooting a respectable 36.8% from the floor. 2 of 7 from the three-point line. I'm always interested by the media timeouts. I'm the media, and I didn't need a timeout. But it is what it is. We got a break in the action here. Again, we'll be back here Monday night at Puckett Fieldhouse as Hannibal LaGrange, I think they're the Lions, but I could be wrong. They will come to town for men's action at 7:30. I will have that call for you here from Puckett Fieldhouse. I spent a lot of time in Puckett Fieldhouse my years at Central Methodist. I was a baseball player here, and this is where we worked out through the winter time. Bristol with the basketball. Scott, that's Cathy with it there. That's Jackson coming around the corner. To the corner it goes. Austin back in the ball game, gets it back. Cathy with a bounce pass, tipped away by Bevins. Lyle has it and gets it to Fisher. Nice play by Chandler Bevins and by Trent Lyles. Lyles looks inside. They're spinning it around to McDermott in the corner. That's cut off. Kamara Going to go to the lane. Bevins going to go baseline. Bumps Kathy. Doesn't get a foul, but he puts it up and in off the glass. 21 for Chandler Bevins. Kicked out to the corner. That's Austin. He's taking one shot. Didn't get it. Bristol. There's Austin again with another one. Doesn't get that one to go either. Lyles with a rebound. 7:50 to go. Lyles looking to beat people down the floor. Gets tied up. Fisher with a three on the way. Good. Austin Fisher. 33-18, biggest lead of the ball game for the Eagles. They're up 15 with 7.5 to go here in the first half. I tell you, if you're in the Fayette area, come by. Plenty of good seats available. With the pandemic, you could say that at every single ball game. Jackson gets one halfway down, won't go, and Kamara with a rebound. Pettiford getting ready to check back in at the next dead ball. Coach Sherman yells out one, and we're going to get that play called as Bevins sets a pick, gets it, heads back down the lane, cuts through, avoids a charge, lays it in. 23 points, Chandler Bevins. Bevins 23, rest of the team 12. Benedictine 18 total. Scott. Bristol. Scott looks inside to Catholic, can't get it to go there. Scoops it up and in. Nice play there by Nasir Scott. His first basket of the ball game, first points. Lyles. Fisher, top of the key. McDermott. Bevins. McDermott cuts through. Ball is blocked by Austin. Goes out of bounds. It will stay with Central. Pettiford back in. Chris Orozco checks in. Bevins checks out. That's Orozco with the ball to Lyles. Kamara's yelling for the ball to come to the wing because he's got a mismatch inside. He's got Bristol on him, who is 6 foot tall. Lyles to the hoop, scoops it up and in. Trent Lyles with the basket. Kamara had a 6-inch height advantage and wanted the ball to be swung so he could get it against a mismatch with Bristol. Bristol to the corner, three on the way, in the air, no good. And Kamara with a rebound. Gets it to Lyles. 37-20. Pettiford. Fisher. Lyles. 10 on the shot clock. Around Orozco, step back, three in the air. Comes up short. Jackson with a rebound. Bristol back to Jackson. Austin. Bristol inside to Cathy with Orozco on him. Tries to turn the corner, puts a shot up, no good, but the foul will go on Chris Orozco. That's his first personal foul. Orozco is 6'6" junior out of Phoenix, Arizona. Foul goes on Amir Pettiford, his second personal foul. Jaden McGrew checks back in. Pettiford checks back out. 5:08 to go, 37-20. Students are on break. Austin to the hoop, lays it up and in. Matt Austin. His first points of the night. Students won't be back on campus full-fledged until at least second semester. They're going to virtually learn the next week after this. And then the week after that is finals. So they're going to do virtual learning for the last week of regular classes and then do their finals online. Fisher with another basket from the free throw line. He's got 5. 39-22. Austin back to the lane, kicks it back out. Inside it goes to Cathy. Almost knocked away by Orozco. Austin with a three, can't go, and Kamara with another rebound. Fifth rebound in the game for Fody Kamara. Fisher bounces, gets a shot blocked. Austin blocked it, right to Kathy, back to Austin. Nobody stops him. He goes right to the hoop, lays it up left-handed and in. Matt Austin. Back-to-back baskets for him, and it's a 15-point advantage. Under 4 to go here in the first half of play. Kamara in the corner to Lyles. Going to get a pick from Orozco. Behind it. Step back. Orozco now with a size advantage on Bristol. Backs in. Bumps. Loses the handle on it, but McGrew gets it. Puts it up and misses. Bristol with a rebound. Chance to cut it down to 13, maybe 12. 3 on the way, no good. And Kamara with a rebound and a timeout by the Eagles. Coach Sherman wants to stop what's going on here. So while he takes a full timeout, we'll take a quick 30-second break and be back in 30 seconds here on the Eagles Sports Network.
At last, an approach to teaching and learning that connects the traditional classroom to the real world at Central Methodist University. Now you can learn the way you live and the way you'll work with the new Digital U, available only on the campus of CMU. Be more.
3:17 to go, 39-24. Eagles over the Ravens. It's been the Chandler Bevins show for the most part. He's out of the game right now, but I think he's got 23. Let me look at he's got 23 points right now. 10 of 11 from the field, 2 of 2 from the free throw line, or 1 of 1 from the free throw line. He's got a three-pointer to go along with it, and a couple of rebounds. Eagles out rebounding Benedictine 15-13 right now. Bevins back into the ball game. Kamara, Lyles, McGrew, Bevins, and McDermott on the floor. Jackson, Bristol, Austin, Thurston, and Cathy on the floor for Benedictine. That's Kamara, Lyles. They're waiting for Kamara to come around on the baseline. He's got it. Going to back in against Thurston. Spin move, puts it up, can't get it to go. McDermott almost had the board, but didn't get it. And Bristol's got it with a chance to chip away at this 15-point deficit for Benedictine. Cathy, Bristol to the basket, beats McDermott to the hoop, lays it up and in. 6 points for him in the ball game for Bristol. 2:35 to go, first half. Kamara, McGrew going to get a pick, goes the other way, goes around it. Left hand, up and in, off the glass. 6 for him. Back to 15. No cheerleaders or anybody here, so the bench is yelling for some D, chanting to D up. To Cathy underneath. He's sealed off. Back outside. Jackson with a 3 straight on. Splashes it through. He's got 5 in the game. Bevins. McDermott. McGrew going to get a pick from Bevins again. Does. Steps around. Bevins free throw line jumper on the way. Won't go in. And Tyson Cathy with the rebound. That's 12. Can cut it down to 10 or single digits on this trip down. Austin. Into the lane. Trying to find where to spin. Can't. Thurston. Bristol. Thurston again. Jackson with it now. Bristol puts it up, scores, fouled. Foul goes on Bevins, his first foul, team foul number 5. And Jaden Bristol with a chance for a traditional three-point play. Rims out no good, and McGrew with a rebound. Bevins. McGrew, little weave out front. McDermott down the lane, draws some contact, puts it up, gets it to go, and he's fouled. Was looking for some contact, found some. His first points of the ball game. He's got a chance for a three-point play. And McDermott averages almost 15 a game, and that's the first points for him, and he misses the free throw. And Cathy with a rebound as we're under a minute to go. Lyles playing D, looking for picks coming his way. Nobody doing that, so Bristol dribbles out. Bristol down the lane, finds his way to the hoop, lays it up and in. Lyles got caught up in traffic. 1 second difference between shot clock and game clock, so it looks like the Eagles with a 10-point lead are going to run it down to the end and take the last shot of this first half. McGrew, Kamara with Jackson on him. McGrew spins in the lane with Cathy on him. Can't get it to go. Bristol launches it from long range. Comes up short. And the halftime score has the Eagles up 43-33. We will be back in just a few minutes. Run some ads. Before I do that, let me make sure we get our sponsors all mentioned before we go to any more ads at halftime here. I'd like to thank our corporate sponsors for their continued support of CMU Athletics. MFA Oil, the Braun Home, Jennings Premium Meats, Community Auto Sales and Service, AirLink, Drury Hotels, Missouri Pacific Lumber, Howard County Electric, and Commercial Trust Company. Community Auto Sales and Service is your one-stop shop for all your automotive needs, from brakes, tires, and oil changes to front-end alignments, engine repair, batteries, and state inspections. They have everything and can do anything to keep you on the road safely. Proud supporter of Eagle Athletics. AirLink Rural Broadband is your local wireless and fiber internet provider. Family owned and operated with coverage options in Sheraton, Howard, Saline, and surrounding counties. Interested in wireless or fiber service? Visit us at airlink123.com for information on all your internet needs. Those are our sponsors. Happy to have them. That's how they make these broadcasts sponsorable. We're going to take a break and run some CMC stuff, CMU stuff for you. We'll be back in about 3.5 minutes or so with halftime statistics here from Puckett Fieldhouse. Eagles with a 10-point advantage at halftime.
At last, an approach to teaching and learning that connects the traditional classroom to the real world at Central Methodist University. Now you can learn the way you live and the way you'll work with the new Digital U, available only on the campus of CMU. Be more. At last, an approach to teaching and learning that connects the traditional classroom to the real world at Central Methodist University. Now you can learn the way you live and the way you'll work with the new Digital U, available only on the campus of CMU. Be more.
How do you make traditional education more effective for today's job market? You transform it. Now the only limit to your education is your imagination. The new Digital U at Central Methodist University. Be more. How do you make traditional education more effective for today's job market? You transform it at Central Methodist University. Now the only limit to your education is your imagination. The new Digital U, available only on the campus of CMU. Be more.
Halftime at Puckett Fieldhouse in Fayette, Missouri. finds the Eagles with a 10-point advantage, 43-33 over Benedictine. Halftime statistics for you. Field goal percentage in the game, and that'll tell you a lot about why it's a 43-33 game. Central shooting 61.3% from the floor, 19 of 31. Benedictine, good percentage for them, 42.4%, as they're 14 of 33 from the three-point line and beyond. Central 4 of 7 for 57%. Benedictine 3 of 13 for 23%. Free throws, Central 1 of 2, Benedictine 2 of 3, so not much going on from the free throw line for either side. Rebounds, Benedictine 17 altogether, Central 16. 6 offensive rebounds for Benedictine, only 3 offensive rebounds for Central. Assists, Central 7, Benedictine 6. Steals, Central's got 4, Benedictine 1. Turnovers, 4 for each side. Block shots, 2 for Benedictine, 1 for Central. Team fouls, 5 for Central, 4 for Benedictine, so nobody's in foul trouble. Unlike the women's game earlier that had almost everybody on the floor for Central Methodist at one point in time having at least 3 fours and fouls, and for a while there was 3 players on the floor with 4 fouls for Central Methodist before one of them or 2 of them fouled out. So that's that. Leading scorers in the ball game, Bevins with 23 for the Eagles. Bristol's got 10. He's also the rebound leader with 7. Kamara's got 6 for the Eagles. McDermott with 2 assists. Jackson with 2 assists for Benedictine. Their scoring, Benedictine scoring goes like this. 10 points for Jaden Bristol. 10 points for Saxton Thurston. 5 points for Chris Jackson. 4 points for Matt Austin, and 2 points apiece for Tyson Cathy and Nasir Scott. For the Eagles, they're led by 23 points from Chandler Bevins. 6 points for Jaden McGrew, 5 for Fodi Kamara, 5 points for Austin Fisher, 2 points for Trent Lyle, 2 points for Kyle McDermott. So those are your numbers. We still got over 7.5 minutes to go before the teams pick it back up again. Rachel Moore, the SID here at Central Methodist, is bringing me some food up at halftime, so I appreciate it. It doesn't matter. Whatever you got's fine. She's taking orders. I'll be maybe. We lost our audio for a second. We've got it back. So we'll go ahead. We're going to take a break and run our ad set again as we got 6.5 minutes to go. So we'll run that same ad set again. Come back in about 3 minutes, and we should have everybody on the court ready to go as we tune up for the second half of action here from
Last, an approach to teaching and learning that connects the traditional classroom to the real world at Central Methodist University. Now you can learn the way you live and the way you'll work with the new Digital U, available only on the campus of CMU. Be more. At last, an approach to teaching and learning that connects the traditional classroom to the real world at Central Methodist University. Now you can learn the way you live and the way you'll work with the new Digital U, available only on the campus of CMU. Be more.
How do you make traditional education more effective for today's job market? You transform it. Now the only limit to your education is your imagination. The new Digital U at Central Methodist University. Be more. How do you make traditional education more effective for today's job market? You transform it at Central Methodist University. Now the only limit to your education is your imagination. The new Digital U. Available only on the campus of CMU. Be more.
Back at halftime. Back at halftime as I get readjusted. Quick pizza snack there at halftime for us. Appreciate the folks here at CMU taking care of me and their staff. 43-33 halftime score. Chandler Bevins, the big story in the first half for the Eagles, as he has 23 of the 43 points. He had 19 in the first 9 minutes of that first half. As we're just about ready to get back. To action here in the second half. As I try to clean up my little bit of mess from my halftime snack. Evans and Pettiford, both sides for the Eagles. The Eagles look like they've come out in a little bit of a zone look here. There's Jackson in the corner, double team. Out it comes, Austin. All the way over to Jackson in the corner. Big man inside. Kathy wants the ball. There's a three on the way from Austin. No good. And Kamara out battles Kathy with position to get the rebound. And we're off and running on the second possession of the second half. First one for the Eagles as Pettiford goes through. McDermott. McGrew takes it right to the hoop. He's fouled on the way there as they were running a baseline pick for somebody else, and McGrew just went right on past all of that to the basket. Goes on Bristol, his second personal foul. He's got 10. Along with Saxton Thurston with 10, leading the scoring. Jaden McGrew, 7 after that make, and here comes the second one for him. Also good. He's got 8. Bristol with the basketball. Bring it across midcourt. Gets it back. Top of the key. Looks around. Cuts baseline. Can't get it. Austin. Thurston against McGrew. Knocked away. A couple of spins. Can't get him open. Kathy with it. 5 on the shot clock. Gets it to Kathy. To the corner. Fumbled around in the corner. Out of bounds. And the shot clock expires. And it was going to be Central basketball either way, as it was tipped out of bounds. And the shot clock was going to expire anyhow. McGrew goes right. Kamara inside, and we'll have an illegal pick inside called. Kyle McDermott. First foul against him. Yeah, we're just 14 points, and he's got 2 so far. The others have picked up the slack, mostly Bevins. He's got 23, but he's only scored 4 points in the last 12 minutes of play. Kathy. Saxton Thurston on it in the baseline. Back out. Jackson with a 3 on the way. Looks good, is good. Jackson with 8 in the game, and it's single digits at 9. Kamara. Pettiford. Back to Kamara in the corner. Not interested in the 3. Pettiford. Bumped by Austin. Tries to go around him, puts the ball up, can't get it to go, but a foul will be called.
Ravens foul number 20, Matt Austin. That foul is his first. Second team foul. Stepping to the line.
Foul is on Matt Austin, his first foul. second team foul of the second half. Amir Pettiford looking for his first point of the ball game. Rattles around and rolls in. Back to 9-point advantage. Thought it was a 10-point advantage, but we'll soon see. Second free throw also good, and it is now an 11-point as they didn't put the point up on the board for him after the first free throw, but they get caught up now. Bristol, Cathy, give and go. Lays it up and in. Tyson Cathy with 4 in the ball game now. Kamara, Pettiford going to go baseline. Scoops to the hoop, left-handed, can't get it to go, but there's Bevins. Can't get his rebound to go. Kamara battles and gets the ball back on an offensive rebound. McGrew. All the way across to McDermott. Didn't like what he had. Bevan's going to step in. Has the ball stripped and taken away by Jackson. Kamara puts up resistance, but Jackson lays it in, and it's down to a 7-point game. 3 minutes has got it down to 7. And a turnover by McGrew, out of bounds. And Coach Sherman wants a timeout. So with that, we'll take a quick break as well. We'll be back in 30 seconds with 7-point advantage for the Eagles when we come back on the Eagle Sports Network.
How do you make traditional education more effective for today's job market? You transform it at Central Methodist University. Now the only limit to your education is your imagination. The new Digital U, available only on the campus of CMU. Be more.
We played 3 minutes and 11 seconds. The 10-point halftime leads down to 7, and Benedictine has the basketball. Saxton Thurston. Inbound the ball to Jaden Bristol, bringing it up the court. Bristol, he gets Bevins, puts it up, can't get it to go, and Kamara with a rebound. McGrew, Kamara, loses his footing. Put up a shot, did not go. Austin. Jackson, another three. He hit one just a second ago and hits another one as that one's clean as well. And the 10-point lead is down to 4. McGrew to Bevins, inside against Thurston. But a foul called, and I'll go against Saxton Thurston. First foul on him of the ball game. Third of the second half. Kyle McDermott to bring it in. Pettiford. Bevins back to Pettiford. Going to take it down the lane. Spins inside. Puts it up left-handed. Can't get it to go. Bevins with a rebound. Has his shot partially blocked by Cathy. And out comes Bristol with the basketball. Underneath the basket. Back to Bristol, lays it up and in. And that's back to Cathy. It looks like he may have taken a shot on the right side. He's holding his right hip a little bit. It's 47-45. 12-4 run to start this second half. There's Kamara underneath, spins baseline, goes underneath the basket, puts it up right-handed, gets it to go. Fody Kamara with 7 in the ball game. Stops that little run, stretches it back out to 4. Bristol, zone again by the Eagles. Kamara running the baseline. In and out. Jackson, they're going to take the three away from him as he's made a couple. Thurston in the lane, puts it up left-handed. Can't get it to go. Knocked out of bounds. Going to be Central basketball. Joel Adisi. Marcus Anthony, number 0, and Trent Lyles, number 10, check back in. Lyles back in. Anthony's first appearance, as far as I can remember, in the ball game. Adisi in and Kathy out. Lyles. McDermott is the scorer on the floor right now, and he's got the basketball right there. .10 on the shot clock. Lyles reverses. Anthony puts up a jump shot. Can't get it to go. Bevins tries to get the rebound, but Thurston comes down with it. Austin bumps to the hoop. Puts it up. Can't get it to go. Tipped around. Can't get it to go. Adisi gets it. Bristol with a 3 on the way. Won't go. Anthony with the basketball. Tied up. It'll be Central basketball. Coach Sherman yelling at the team in the white uniforms. That would be his team. Have a little more enthusiasm. Bevins still at 23. Hasn't scored in the second half. Anthony. McDermott. Lyles. Pick from Bevins. Kamara. Inside it goes to Bevins. Comes around from the outside. Gets to McDermott. He gets it halfway down. It won't go. As Bristol knocked the ball out of the hands. Bristol. Austin fakes a 3. Sets it back up. Jackson. Jackson goes baseline. Reverses out. Bristol. Austin. 8 on the shot clock. Kamara, back to Thurston. Score the basket. Foul called. Gets it down to 2. Fody Kamara. Second personal foul against him. Second team foul of the second half. And Saxton Thurston will go to the line to try and complete the old-fashioned 3. Chris Orozco in. Bevins out. No good, and Lyles with a rebound, so it stays a 2-point Central lead. Orozco. McDermott. McDermott trying to find a way to get open. Orozco misses the chippy inside. Was contested. Didn't get it to go. A little too hard. Austin with the ball, and Benedictine with a chance to tie or take the lead, and there will be a foul on Adisi for a moving pick. That's the 4th team foul of the second half against Benedictine. 12:44 to go. Kamara steps through and travels. He's got a bad habit of doing that. One extra step too many. And again, Benedictine with a chance to get a lead. And Thurston missed the chippy. Kamara with a rebound. Lyles on the run. Back to Kamara, back to Lyles. McDermott 1 for 4 from the floor in the ball game. Hasn't gotten his share of shots yet. Anthony to the hoop. He did that in high school a lot. Finds his way to get to the hoop, but can't get it to go. Jackson going to be fouled by Lyles, which is not terrible because it was going to be 2-on-1 if he got the ball ahead. Kamara checks out. Bevins back in. Pettiford back in. Orozco out. Austin Fisher checks in. Kyle McDermott checks out. So 3 subs for the Eagles. It'll be Adisi to bring it in. Into Scott. Nasir Scott gets a pick. Austin. Jackson. To the hoop. Scoop. Gets it to go, and he's fouled. Benedictine ties it. Now a chance to take the lead. He's got 15 in the ball game, does Jackson. Marcus Anthony with the foul. His first, team foul number 4. Free throw no good. Tipped around. Right back to Jackson at the free throw line. Puts up a jumper. Can't get it to go. And Bevins with a rebound. Tied at 49. Eagles have only scored 6 here in the second half, being outscored 16-6 thus far. Fisher with a 3, won't go. Long rebound, goes out of bounds. It'll belong to the Eagles. This is Scott with the basketball. Austin, left wing now. Underneath to Thurston, lays it up and in. He's got 14 and the first lead in a long time, if not the whole ball game, for Benedictine as they're up 2. The cutting and going to the basket and finding Bevins underneath has stopped. Pettiford, lefty from the corner, hits a 3 and puts the Eagles back up by 1. 5 points in the game for Amir Pettiford. Scott. Jackson. And Lyles will be called for a foul out away from the ball, impeding the forward progress of Chris Jackson. Jackson to bring it in, 20 on the shot clock. Thurston gives it right back to him. Scott. Austin. Pulls up for a jumper from straight away. Can't get it to go, but there's Thurston with a rebound. Muscles up, gets the foul against Marcus Anthony. Misses the shot, but he'll go to the free throw line and shoot a pair. Second foul on Anthony. Saxton Thurston. 10:02 to go. Pair of 3 free throws on the way. 0 for 1 from the line so far. Makes that to tie it at 52. McGrew back in the ball game. Jaden McGrew. Cody Kamara back in for the Eagles. Thurston will leave the ball game if he makes this free throw, as there's a sub at the bench waiting to come in for him. Second free throw is good. That sub will now get to come in. Ahmad Lewis, a 6'2 freshman from KC, into the ball game. 53-52. Eagles have scored 9 in this second half so far, as they just can't seem to find anybody. Bevins has been shut down. Three on the way, no good, as the shot clock was running down by Fisher. Running it down, putting it up left-handed off the glass is Matt Austin, and it's a 3-point advantage. McDermott getting ready to check back in. Not a lot of movement, not a lot of scoring threats on the floor. Pettigrew inside to Bevins, who's going to try and back his way in. Turns without the ball, loses it, and out with it comes Scott. Tipped away, but still into the hands of Benedictine as Jackson runs it down, as McGrew knocked it away from Austin. Jackson pulls up for a 3, rolls around no good, and an offensive rebound and putback. Ahmad Lewis, his first points of the ball game, and it's a 5-point advantage. (27-12) being outscored in the second half are the Eagles as they just run a little weave back and forth. McGrew's foul before he gets a shot off. Foul on Austin, his second personal foul. And we've got a timeout call. We'll take a quick break as well. We'll be back in 30 seconds here on the Eagle Sports Network.
At last, an approach to teaching and learning that connects the traditional classroom to the real world at Central Methodist University. Now you can learn the way you live and the way you'll work with the new Digital U, available only on the campus of CMU. Be more.
Eagles have gone cold from the field and trail by 5. It was 43-33 Eagles at halftime. So my bad math. (24-9) Benedictine has outscored the Eagles here so far in the second half. The Eagles have not been able to find anybody with a hot touch. Haven't been able to get the ball inside to Bevins anymore. He has not scored in the second half. He's got 23. Eagles are going to have to find scoring somewhere. Somebody's going to have to jump up. Most likely candidate right now would be Kyle McDermott, because he tends to get hot as he's running side to side, and there's a foul as they try and keep the ball out of his hands as he's cutting back and forth trying to get open. Jackson, his first foul, number 6, so both sides will be shooting bonus from here on out. Kamara, Bevins, McGrew, McDermott. Didn't handle it cleanly, behind his back, around a couple of picks to Bevins. McGrew spins, loses a handle on it, and is called for a travel. That's turnover number 10 in the ball game against the Eagles. Bristol into the corner. 3 on the way and good for Nicer Scott. Biggest lead of the ball game at 8 for Benedictine, as this man defense jumping and switching has caused the Eagles all kinds of problems. Bevins wants to back against Cathy. Can't. Ball's tipped. Goes into the backcourt. Official calls Benedictine ball. Official on the other side comes over and says it was tipped out of bounds by Benedictine. So they swear that up.
Contest for the Eagles, number 10, Trent Lyles.
10 seconds on the shot clock. Lyles back in. McGrew out. Lyles runs it up the floor knowing that there's only 10 on the shot clock. Tries to find some way to get open. Kamara's got it. Jumper on the way from him. Draws the front of the rim, and that's it. As the Eagles can find no offense on the floor right now. Bristol down the lane. Kicks it back out. Jackson straight away. Passes up the three. To the corner, Bristol. Scott. Jackson. Down the lane. Tries to get it to Cathy. Tipped away. Right back to Jackson. Puts it up and in. And a 10-point advantage. So a 20-point swing here in the second half in the first 13 minutes of half number 2. Bevan's going to tee up a three. Tipped around, and Kamara ends up back with it. Puts it up and in. And a timeout is called by Central. So we'll keep it here. 62-54. 6:35 left in the ball game. We'll be back here next Monday night. Eagles take on Hannibal LaGrange here at Puckett Fieldhouse. Eagles have got to find somebody that can score. Whether it's I had a lot of success early getting the ball inside to Bevins, but no success with that lately. Every time he gets it and puts the ball on the floor, they're collapsing and slapping and getting the ball and taking it away. Nobody's been able to light it up from the outside. So they've got to figure out a way, some way to get offense to the rim. Kamara got it there. Kamara in the ball game has got 9. To go along with 10 rebounds, so he's on the verge of a double-double. It will be Benedictine basketball underneath the Central basket. 6:35 to go. Eagles down 8. Benedictine not going to be in any big hurry. Benedictine has rebounded the ball much better. They are now leading in the rebounding category, 30-26 over Central, as they've gotten several offensive rebounds here in the last couple of possessions. Bristol, pass, stolen, tipped, and into the hands of Bevins. Pettigrew, or not Pettigrew. Underneath to Commody. Fody Kamara puts it up and in. As that was Pettiford that made that pass. Back and forth. Tipped by Lyles, but stays in possession. They're just playing catch out in front right now. Here's Austin, going to go baseline. Underneath it goes. Laid up and in by Thurston. Thurston is not very big at 6'2", but he sure gets to the basket well. He's got 18 in the ball game. McDermott steps back, thought about a three from about 25 feet, thought better of it. Lyles, not an offensive threat at this point. McDermott thinks about it again. Lyles tees it up a three from there, lays it up, no good. And out with a rebound is Ahmad Lewis. Coming up on 5 minutes to go, Bristol. Lewis in the corner. Going to run the clock. It's their friend right now. They're up 8 with the ball. Thurston can't get it to go, gets it back and puts it back up. He's fouled, and he just wants the basketball right now inside more than anybody else on the floor because he continues to go and get it. He's got 9 rebounds in the game now as a 6'2" guard. That's Saxton Thuston. I apologize. His family that's listening. Jackson back in, Lewis out. Second free throw. Rolls around and good. Thuston now with 20 as they just roll it up the court. Lyles picks it up. 4:45 to go. Benedictine is guarding the three-point line. Kamara misses a three. Ball comes out on a long rebound, and it's back in Kamara's hands. He's trying to take it down the lane. No good. Kicks it back out. Pettiford spins, puts it up to the basket, gets the bounce. 7 points for Amir Pettiford. Eagles starting to run out of time. 4 minutes to go and 10 seconds. Bristol, now they're playing catch. Thuston decides to go to the hoop. Spin move, loses the handle on it. It's on the floor. Tipped around. Lyles comes out with it. He's going to go to the hoop. Drops it off to Kamara, and he puts it up and in. Benedictine had it going on their offense. They've decided to slow it down a little bit. Let's see if that hurts them in the flow of being able to get the ball somewhere. They're going to take a timeout. While they do that, we'll take a quick 30-second break as well. We'll be back right after this on the Eagles Sports Network.
How do you make traditional education more effective for today's job market? You transform it at Central Methodist University. Now the only limit to your education is your imagination. The new Digital U, available only on the campus of CMU. Be more.
.340 to go, 66-60. Eagles with a little 4-0 run spurt here. Gets it back to 6 with 3:40 to go. See if Benedictine goes back into their attack mode rather than run the clock mode, which is sort of like the prevent defense in football. Sometimes it prevents you from winning. Sometimes you go into the slowdown and then you can't get back to your regular offense when you need to get back to it. So we'll see how the Eagles play, how the Ravens play it. It'll be Ravens basketball as we come back to action. Tyson Cathy inbounds the ball to Bristol. Jaden Bristol. Trent Lyles on him. Saxton Thuston. Bristol was triple teamed, didn't realize it. Austin. Bristol from the corner on the way. Rims out no good. And Bevins with a rebound. Cut the lead to 4 or cut it in half. Get it down to 3 with a three-pointer. Kamara. Lyles. McGrew. Bounce. Lyles. Corner it comes. McGrew with a 3 that comes up short. He's fouled on the play, and he's going to go to the free throw line and shoot 3 free throws. Tyson Cathy, his third personal foul. And looks like we've got maybe a timeout. So we're lining up to shoot free throws, and Benedictine's coach told his team to come over. They're looking at the scorer's table to see if he was behind the three-point line when he shot that. They're looking at the monitor over on the side. So it'll be a 3. Look at my stat sheet that I have. McGrew is a 50% free throw shooter. So this could take it from 6 down to 3 if McGrew could hit all 3 of these free throws. Tough to stand there and hit 3, which you can't do if you don't make the first, and he made the first one, so it's 66-61. Second one is no good. And here comes the third. It was a 6-point advantage before these 3 free throws. And he makes 2 out of the 3. 66-62. Austin. Thuston. Back to Austin. Zone trapping defense for the Eagles right now, trying to force the ball out of somebody's hands. Bristol, baseline, Cathy. Austin, as the ball was tipped, back to him. Bristol in the corner. Jackson with a 3 on the way, no good. Lyles with a rebound. Ahead he comes to Pettiford. Takes it to the hoop, lays it up, gets it to go, and he's fouled. Basket's good. Foul is on Bristol. His 3rd personal foul. And he can cut the lead down to 1. Halfway down, scoops out. Thuston with a rebound, stays 2 with 2:22 to go in this second half of play. Bristol, Jackson skipping it all the way across to Austin. Doesn't want the 3 from there. Ball inside, Thuston, back out. Jackson, back across to Austin. He's going to drive this time. Loses the handle on it. 3-on-1, 2-on-1 now for the Eagles. To the hoop, can't get it to go. Was Pettigrew, and he gets it, or McGrew, and he gets it to Bevins, who scores his first point of the second half and ties it up. And a timeout called by Benedictine. I'm looking at the scoreboard. So Benedictine down to 2 timeouts now. Central with 3. We'll keep it here. .66 all, minute and 41 to go. Probably see overtime coming at this rate. Eagles were up 10 at the half. Down by as many as 10 not very long ago. 4 minutes left in the game. So about 2.5 minutes ago, they were down 10. Back even at 66 now. Hannibal Grange in town Monday night. Our next conference doubleheader that we've got coming up will be on December the 10th when Baker comes into town. That'll be a 5:30 and a 7:30 tip time. Women at 5:30, men at 7:30. Eagles back out on the floor. Bristol with the ball inbounds. Now let's see if Benedictine can get back into scoring mode. They've been in the hang on to the ball mode for a little while. The zone defense has hurried them up a little bit. Jackson all the way across. Bristol going to tee up a 3, put it in the air, and good. Jaden Bristol, he's got 13, and the lead's up to 3 for Benedictine as we're at 1:10 to go. Lyles and Bevins play catch. Bevins in the corner against Cathy. Kamara posted up inside against Thuston. Wants him to come back around. Wants Bevins to get out of the way. McGrew. Kamara to the hoop. Can't get it to go. Tipped around. Goes out of bounds off of Bevins. And it'll go back to Benedictine with 51 to go. And a timeout called by the Eagles. $51.1 to go. Let's see what Benedictine wants to do, whether they want to run the 30-second shot clock down a long way. Eagles need to play good defense there. It's a one-possession game right now. If Benedictine runs it down and they don't score, the Eagles have the ball with 20 seconds to go, give or take a little bit, down by 3. Chance to tie. But it depends on good defense by the Eagles and a chance to score when they get the ball back. Pettiford, Lyles, McGrew, Kamara, and Bevins on the floor for the Eagles. Benedictine has not broken their huddle yet. It looks like the Eagles are going to push a little bit, play a little more defense further down the court than midcourt. It's Bristol, Jackson, Austin, Thuston, and Cathy on the floor for Benedictine. Everybody's in the bonus. Jackson, back to Bristol. Austin, Bristol, Jackson. Fodi Kamara with the steal and a bump. And it's going to be a block. Oh, it's going to be an offensive foul. The underneath basket official was going to call it a charge. I thought maybe the outside official would call it a block, but he didn't. Kamara with the steal, comes down and runs into a defender who is deemed to have established his spot on the floor. Little mop-up duty going on. And now 39 seconds to go. The Eagles are going to have to foul somebody at some point in time. Unless they get a steal. They don't. Jackson has it in the front court. Thuston has it. Doesn't want to go hoopward. Kamara with another steal. Spins. Needs to give it up. Lyles, 21 seconds. Don't need a 3 right now, but that would not be nice to tie it up. Lyles to the basket. Can't get it to go. And Thuston with a rebound. Foul by Kamara with 13.8. Had a chance. Didn't have to shoot a 3. Didn't. Took it to the hoops, but Lyles could not get it to go. Kamara with the foul. His 4th personal foul. And Thuston at the line. 4 for 5 from the free throw line for him in this ball game. Kyle McDermott gets ready to check back in after the first free, or after he'll come in now because it's 1-1. McDermott, a 3-point shooter. McDermott, a 34% shooter from 3-point, but if Thuston makes this first free throw, which he does, it makes it a 2-possession game, and Benedictine has a leg up on a win. Central takes timeout, down 4 with 13.8 to go. I think that leaves them with 1 timeout to go in the ball game. So it'll be score somehow, because you're going to be down 5 at the most, a 2-possession game. So you score the first easy basket, first easy shot you get, you take. And then you foul somebody on the other end, hoping that you'll get a free throw miss. But at this point in time, it'll be a double bonus if the next foul happens, because Central has 9 right now. Free throw percentage. Looking at the players on the floor. Chris Jackson is a 69% free throw shooter. There isn't anybody all that bad, so it's going to be tough. They shoot 70% from the free throw line as a team. Last 13.8 to go here directly. So you got to pick your poison at this point in time. Nicer Scott is a 63% free throw shooter. Thuston is 5 of 6 from the free throw line as he shoots his second free throw of the one-on-one. He made the first. Makes the second. Still a two-possession game. McGrew hustles it up. Going to take it right to the hoop. Put up a shot. Comes up short. Cathy with a rebound. And that's going to do it. Bristol going to dribble it out. And there's your final score, 71. 66 is your final. So Benedictine outscores the Eagles in the second half, 38-23. Takes a 10-point halftime deficit, turns it into a 5-point victory. So there is your final score. We'll get that up on the board as they can't do that, but we can. There's your final score. Eagles fall to 3-3 overall. And 2-1 in the conference. Benedictine goes to 6-2 and 3-1 in the conference. So Monday night is the next ball game that we have, non-conference game against Hannibal LaGrange. That will do it from Central Methodist. Women win. Men fall to Benedictine by the final score of 71-66. That's Charlie Brown. Thank you for watching. We'll be back here Monday night for Eagle basketball here on the Eagle Sports Network. We will see you then.